Hey, you guys, Faith here. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. I am really excited about the message today because it is something that I think that we all need to feel on a daily basis. And we are talking about gratefulness, how being grateful can change our perspectives, and how in turn that can change how we live our life day to day. So, one of my favorite quotes is by Frank Clark, and it says, if a fellow isn't thankful for what he's got, he isn't likely to be thankful for what he's going to get. Let me say it again. If someone is not thankful for what they have, they're more likely not going to be thankful for what they get. What does that mean? I'll give an example. My children, God bless their heart, their children. My son loves video games, and we gave him a little Xbox One, and then we got him this little monthly subscription to the games. Now he's got the Xbox One, right? Now he's like, oh, I want Xbox One, but this game's not fun anymore. And then you buy him another game. Oh, that's fun. It's like after a while, no matter what you give and what you get, it just loses its appeal. It loses appeal. It loses appeal. Why? Because we keep trying to fulfill our joy with things. We keep trying to fulfill our day with things that really do not have a lasting effect on how we feel internally. And that is because sometimes we get so used to being able to get what we want or grab it so quickly that every time we get something, it loses appeal. I often think, when I was in Iraq, when I served in the military, I would go on convoys, which is when we go outside of the base and we have to travel down the road, whether it is to drop off rations / food or to pick up supplies or drop off supplies. And I would stop along the way, and some of the Iraqi people and their children be out there, and I would hand them a bag of food from our PX, something small like ramen noodle, candy, and things like that. And they were so grateful, you guys. You would have thought I gave them a bag of gold. They're just so thankful. And you know why? Because they live a life where things are hard to come by. They can't just do like you and I, run to the nearest grocery store to grab what we want. And so they have such a grateful heart because when they get something, it means so much. And for so many of us, we can get things so easily. So many things is within our reach that when we get it, it loses its desire because it came so easily. I remember growing up, my parents would say, if you work hard for it, you'll appreciate it more. If we give it to you easily, you appreciate it less. And how true is that, you guys, right? So I remind you to just be grateful for the little things you have, because when you are grateful for the little things and take note of the little things that you have, you will be less likely to even notice the things you lack. I know there are things I want in life. There are places I like to go in life. And sometimes, I go, golly, I really wish I could. I really wish I could go here or do this, or I wish I could have this or have this house or have this car. But what I try to do is remind myself of the people in this world that have nothing at all, and how grateful I should be for the small things that I have, because the small things I have may be big to someone else. I've gone to people's house. Their house is huge, humongous, gorgeous, beautiful. Then sometimes I come back to my house and think, wow, makes my house seem small. But there are people out there who don't have a house. There are people out there that have nowhere to live. They're living on the street that would think my house is a mansion. So a grateful heart changes our perspective, you see, because when I realize, man, I am so grateful for this house I have because I don't have to have a roof over my head, I am less likely to go, man, my house is not big enough. Oh, my house is not as nice as that person's house, or my car is not as good as that person's car. Because I'm taking note of the little things that I have in my life that I'm so blessed to have, like love, family, friends, food on my table. Because as small as those things seem, many people don't have that. There are people out there that have no one to turn to. There are people out there that have no one to call them to say, I love you. There are people out there who don't have a door to walk through to keep warm. So you have to just have a grateful heart, you guys, because a grateful heart will give you good perspectives. It will make you more thankful for the chips, the bag of chips you're eating. As small as that bag of chips is, you're eating something, right? So your assignment for this week is to write down some things that you are grateful for. And then on the other side of the paper, I want you to write down some things that people may not have that you have. And as you look through that list, I want you to ask yourself, am I really lacking anything? Because the world wants us to feel like we don't have enough, that it's never enough. And I mean, when you think about it, there are millionaires walking around stealing and taking from people and being dishonest in order to build their wealth. But honestly, how many millions of dollars do you really need to survive? You know why they do that? Because it's never enough. That desire to do well turns to greed. And then that greed starts building this feeling of emptiness to where you just keep trying to fill it and fill it. I'm going to work double hours because I'm not making enough money. Oh, I'm going to work hard to buy this big expensive house because the house I'm in is not big enough. Oh my goodness, I want to buy all the name brand clothes because name brand shows that I'm great and I can afford things, and it means that I am doing so well in my life. But instead, I urge you to think, man, I love this dress I'm wearing. Hey, it only costs $12, but man, do I look good in it. I look like it costs $100, right? I want you to think, man, look at my list right here. So I'm grateful for my family. Oh, thank God for my family, because there are people out there who have no one. That is what I want you to do this week. Write down a list of the things that you are grateful for. And I promise you, once you go through that list, you guys, and you just focus on the things to be grateful for, you will no longer think about the things that you lack. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that what I said enters here, touches here, and you put it into action, you guys. Until next week, bye.